Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. What a whirlwind tour I've been on. And it's nice to be back in the jungle where I'm most comfortable. So as it turns out, in all my running around on the mainland, I wasn't really all that comfortable about raising my camera around in the various places that I went to. I was going to try and document a lot of that, but I was running around so fast and furious, and things that I thought about filming, I just didn't have the courage to be filming everything in the big busy city. I was kind of out of my element, a true fish out of water. So I'll show you a few of the clips that I did manage to get. A couple of them don't have any narration in them because I was afraid to talk even on the airplane, which I haven't been on in a very, very long time. And it's been about 17 years since I even stepped foot off this island, at least going to the mainland. So, yeah, the first few clips, just a little bit here of what it looked like flying over the island. It was pretty, or all of the islands actually, it looked pretty cool. So it'll start with that, and then I'll be able to kind of show you what else happened.
Now that we're in the air, we'd like to call your attention to the no smoking event.
And I got into San Francisco late, my first night, and this is where I stayed. This is from the balcony and what it looked like my very first morning there. And wow, that city was very, very busy. Another shot from that balcony, just looking a little further right. It had been a very long time since I'd been in a jungle like that. And this was my ultimate goal, about 10 years in the making, getting to the UCSF Medical Center at Mount Zion, to their melanoma specialists. And I was so excited to get in there and see what they could figure out about what's going on with me. So the whole reason I went over there was because I've picked up so many melanomas over the years, that it's been recommended to me so many times to get to a melanoma specialist. And I'd talked to people over the years, and they said UCSF was the place to head to. And it finally worked out to where I could get out there and get an appointment with them. And as it turned out, I was a little bit disappointed. So first of all, the first person that I saw had a hard time believing that a person laying in front of her had had 26 melanomas. Just couldn't believe it. Said that that was such an unusual number of melanomas that they couldn't grasp the idea that that was in fact what I've been dealing with. And she was good enough to say, okay, point to me what you think is melanoma on you. And I pointed off about 5 of the most likely suspect spots on me, because the way mine present fly under the radar of most dermatology. So I pointed them out, and she said, well, I'm going to take them off, but none of these are going to be melanoma. I already knew from my past that I was going to at least pick up one there. I had no doubt, and that turned out to, of course, come back melanoma. And then a few others were very close to being, but not quite yet. And that's just how fast they develop on me. So I'm kind of Johnny on the spot out here with my providers out here on the island. And we stay pretty well on top of it about as fast as we can. So anyway, and besides that, I ran into a little issue just getting through the door. I had the appointment all made, and they had issues about payment. And the only issue was their credit card reader wasn't working correctly. So when I laid that on to get into the door, because you had to pay to get in, they said, well, we can't see you because our credit card machine is broken and you have to pay. And I said, well, I've got cash. I'm prepared for any scenario. I've come a long way to get in here. I need to see this person. And it all worked out. I was able to see everybody and get in there. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with the so-called specialists that I was supposed to see and did see. So the hardest part about navigating the medical system is you really truly have to be your own advocate and really know what's going on and really push to get some things done and work very hard to keep people's attention on some things. So, you know, I was doing that. I told the woman that I'd been coming from Hawaii. This is my case, this is my history. Gave her all the documentation she'd possibly need. And and then they said, well, they could take care of it there. And I said, no, I'll just go back home and take care of it from here. There was a lot of things that were not up to par. I was expecting a lot more information, which I really didn't get. But boy, is it good to be back home. And there's an awful lot more I could say about my experience at UCSF, but there's no need. I will just continue on with my care here, which I've always had good care here, but I just expected a little bit more. And even my caregivers here have been saying, wow, it'd be good for you to get to UCSF. Everyone's been supportive of me over the years to getting there. Turned out to be a big flop. There's a lot of mistakes made there. I won't go into all the details because that would be a long rant. And everyone that has been loving me and supporting me all these years to getting out there, I have been ranting and raving for a few days. I've basically got all of that out of my system. So now I'm ready to just get back to normal. And normal is solar stuff, right? And I've got a lot of stuff that I got to catch up on, and I'll be bringing that to you guys here shortly. So I'm fairly well rested up. I've been back on island for a couple of days. And a big mahalo to everyone who has supported me. All of you guys been patient with me. Everything's just worked out very well. I got the information I needed. I won't be thinking about leaving the island anytime soon again. Did you miss me, P? Huh? Yeah, you did. You're all right, though. Everything's back to normal now. And I've got all my gauges back where they belong. That little makeshift servo unit, what I called it. It was great for while I was away. I could monitor what was happening with all my systems from California. And that just gave me a peace of mind while I was so far from home. Could look in and see everything was working just as it should. Yeah, so good to be back. And let me tell you guys and gals, there is no place like home. All right, everybody. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for tuning in. And back to regular content right now. All right. Nothing but living off grid and solar. I had enough of the big city to last me the rest of my life. All right, everybody. Aloha. Hope you're all doing well. I'm good. Yeah, you only just have to go away for a couple of weeks to realize how good you've got it. Oh yeah, and Dave, who we were going to meet for tacos, things started getting hot and heavy at the end. I had to make a beeline back home to clean up the mess that UCSF made. I am going to say that. All right, buddy. For those of you that have made it this far, Dave's a good friend and a longtime viewer and supporter of the channel. And he was out in the area where I was hanging out, waiting on results from the university. And we were going to make plans to get together, and that didn't work out. I had to get scooting back home. All right. For goodness sake, get back to some batteries, Bob.